see what's out there.
Waiting for this.
Hope you're ready to kill some plague changed. We've got a big quota to fill. All of them. You're here to help, and you ain't got any sign of the plague on you. You're either the bravest adventurer to wander into Scarkeep, or the stupidest. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Mainly because we need the bodies. We're here because we volunteered to be the first line of defense against the plague changed. I guess you're here because the folks topside got my message about weird things going on around here. Well, weirder than normal. The folks topside don't like dealing with us much for fear of catching the plague. We only really get supplies when we get new recruits. The rest we have to scavenge from buildings here in the Chasm. We're running short on weapons and supplies to arm our soldiers. Real soon, we'll be using rocks, sticks, and harsh language. You look pretty well armed. You think you can help? Head into the broken barracks to the northwest, and recover whatever weapons and supplies you can find.
They're always staring. Just staring, you know? Everyone who spends time here in the Chasm is bothered by nightmares. It gets so a guy doesn't want to sleep, you know? For me, the nightmares are always the same. It's those blue fire eyes. Have you seen them? They're just horrible floating eyes. Nothing but an eye. Staring right at you. I can feel them staring at me, even behind the walls of the keep. I still feel it. They're staring at me, mocking me. Do me a favor, will ya? Put out a few of those eyes. It might not stop the nightmares, but I'll rest just a little better. Yeah? You put out some of those blue fire eyes? Hey, yeah, I can feel it. They're not as much staring now. Nice work. Damn things really get on my nerves, you know?
Well done. Now we've got a chance to strike back at these creatures. We could really use someone like you at our forward base. I want you to report to Lieutenant Trell at Fort Precipice. But there is something you can do on your way. Maybe you've noticed those blue plague fire geysers nearby. They're setting the ruins ablaze and spawning all kinds of plague-changed creatures. If we don't do something soon, they'll overwhelm Scarkeep. Luckily, some of the recovered supplies included dwarven blasting runes. Tossing a rune into a plague fire geyser should cause it to collapse. I'd be obliged if you'd knock out a few geysers on your way to Fort Precipice.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
The fight against the creatures of the chasm goes poorly. Their numbers seem limitless, while we are so few. So, you are the source of the blasts we heard coming from the burning road. Well done. I'm happy to have some of those geysers sealed, and even happier to have a volunteer to lend us a hand. Scar Company is a grim unit, but a proud one. We bore our company colors bravely into battle, but lost them in the fight when we were nearly overwhelmed. The loss of that banner feels like a personal insult to every soldier in this command. It would be a great boost to our faltering morale if you could recover it. If you manage to recapture the banner, bring it here and raise it on the flagpole above the battlements. But be forewarned, the place where it now lies is guarded by some of the most formidable creatures we have yet faced.
Every failure of duty diminishes Torm, and every success adds to his luster. Many Scar Company soldiers fell in our counteroffensive, and their bodies were not recovered. Every surviving member of the company feels the shame of leaving slain comrades behind. Those soldiers deserve a proper funeral. I've asked Lieutenant Trull for permission to lead a recovery detail, but he is unwilling to risk the living for the sake of the dead. If the bodies were clearly marked and prepared for recovery, I am certain Lieutenant would allow a group of volunteers to recover the remains. I can supply you with marker flags and shrouds. Will you use them to mark our fallen comrades?
How much longer can we hold this position?
You ain't got the stink of the plague changed on you, so I assume you're here to help. You arrived too late to join our counter-offensive against the creatures of the chasm. Consider yourself lucky. We did pretty well at first, but then they brought up a pack of those Nothic brutes. Those beasties smashed our lines to pieces and cut down our spellcasters. Only a handful of us managed to retreat to this position. Now it looks like the enemy's gathering for an attack on the fort. We'll be hard-pressed to resist them, especially if they have a strong force of Nothic brutes in their vanguard. If you really want to help out, hunt down some Nothic brutes. I was able to catch a glimpse of you in action from here. Best thing I've seen while on guard duty for a long, long time. I'm impressed. You've given us a fighting chance to hold this position. We're all obliged to you. I've served a lot of units. This one's the finest.
That is welcome news. Our fallen brothers will soon receive their last rites, and a proper funeral pyre. Thank you, and may the blessings of Torm and Ilmater be upon you always.
That banner is more than a piece of cloth. It represents hope to every member of this company. By recovering it, you've helped restore our fighting spirit. We're ready to soldier on now. The plague-changed creatures we face are formidable, but their lack of organization has always given us a small advantage. But now that advantage has been lost. When we launched our attack against the plague-changed, we discovered they were being controlled by a creature called Trokar the Firestarter. Trokar's a potent spellcaster, and savvy enough in the ways of war to control the mob of chaotic creatures he commands. Our scouts report he has taken up residence in the ruins just north of here. If we hope to halt the advance of the plague-changed, Trokar must be eliminated. How much longer can we hold this position?
I've served in a lot of units, no doubt about it. This one's the finest.
Well, hello there.
Hell no.
Surely we could find some way to pass the time.
The fight against the creatures of the chasm goes poorly. Well done! That's one less chasm-spawned monstrosity to deal with. We have a squad deeper in the chasm, guarding a sun-elf sorcerer named Quorthon, who is studying the spell plague. He sends word he has gained insight into the true nature of the chasm and requires further assistance. Quorthon created and maintains the magic portals that allow us to move around the chasm. His research is vital to our mission. Follow the road downslope from Fort Precipice. You'll come to the first portal. Activate it, and you'll travel to an earth moat where you can find Quorthon.
Rewards given for abomination slain.
Best to remember the good times, don't you think? You wouldn't know it today, but Private Mara Talaran was once a real heartbreaker. She was the toast of Neverwinter, with a crowd of suitors around her. Then she became spell-scarred. She's bitter about the way her life turned out. It's gotta be hard for someone who was once so beautiful to change like that. I'd like her to remember what it's like to be adored, even for a moment. Would you pick some of the rift roses that grow around here and take them to her, down at the scrying tower? Just tell her they're from an admirer.
We all gotta go sometime. Sooner's probably better than later when you're spell scarred.
We thought we could cleanse the chasm on our own. We were wrong. Thank the gods! Did you get my call for reinforcements? Not that it matters. I'll take any help I can get at this point. The rest of my party has been captured by the plague changed. I fear they're trying to turn them into more of those monsters. We may have lost our last battle, but we were strong warriors all the same. If you can rescue my comrades, we may be able to strike back at the plague changed. To my knowledge, they are being held in the Arcanist Quarter.
The spell plague energy. Welcome, my friend. As a wizard, I have a keen interest in all things arcane, and the spell plague is no exception. I've gained some insights into the nature of these strange energies during my time here in the chasm. Perhaps we can help each other with our respective goals. I am in need of a magical power source to keep the warp gates running. Fortunately, a number of magical relics can still be salvaged from the ruins of the old Arcanist Quarter. The bizarre energies emanating from the chasm have rendered these items useless in regard to their original enchantments. However, I can still make good use of their residual magical energy. My warp gates are the only things that make travel here in the chasm possible, but to maintain them, I need those magic items. Your reputation precedes you, my friend, even down here. I believe you are just the person to assist a pair of Scar Company's more recent recruits. Be so good as to speak to Dorothea Linkletter. She will tell you more.
I'm so fortunate to have someone to lean on. Oh, it's you! I'm so happy to see you again. After the Plague Tower incident, Joseph and I made our way down here to join Scar Company. It's a hard life, but at least we're not being hunted by our own kind. But I'm worried for Joseph. His condition has gotten worse. I'm afraid he's on the verge of crossing over. I told Quorthon about that horrible Razad and the elixir he used to help me. Quorthon thinks he might be able to duplicate the elixir, but he needs ichor from plague-changed aberrations.
It won't be long before I leave this world behind, but I'll take down a few more foul spawn before I go. Are you heading down to the Arcanist Quarter? There's a small cemetery there where minor wizards were once buried, but now the restless dead walk there. When the cemetery was still in use, it was blessed by priests of Kelemvor, Lord of the Dead. They placed powerful seals to ward off the curse of undeath. But I've seen with my own eyes that those seals are damaged. It wasn't easy, but I've obtained a new seal from one of Kelemvor's Doom Guides. If you were to replace an old broken seal with this new one, the cemetery might be cleansed of evil.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
Only a fool or a hero would willingly pass this gate. Which are you, I wonder? What? Flowers? If this is some kind of joke, I swear I'll... No, wait, it's all right. I'll take them. From an admirer, you say? That's nice.
What is truth? Will they accept it?
Hard to believe there are folks going... Good. Then it was worth all the effort it took to get that seal sent down from the folks up top. I'm a fighting man, not a cleric, but being so close to crossing over has me thinking a lot about death. I don't know what's in store for me on the other side, but the last thing I want is for these old bones to be walking around without me after I'm gone.
Well, this is a relief. I was beginning to think I might have to make do on my own. You've saved us from complete failure, but most of us have lost our weapons. There's still work to be done here, and we'll need weapons to get it done. Fortunately, the Chasm has seen plenty of battles. I expect you can find some slightly used weapons all over down here. If you're able to bring me 5 usable specimens, we might manage to mount something resembling a counteroffensive.
Excellent. This will help keep the gates open for a while. While we are on the topic of gates and portals, there is another urgent matter you can help us with. It seems the foul spawn of the Chasm are attempting to build gates of their own. Such gates would allow them to bring hordes of aberrant creatures against Scarkeep. I have sensed a spike in arcane energy emanating from a nearby Earth mote. This can only mean that the foul spawn gates are nearing completion. These gates are powered by plague crystals. If these crystals are destroyed, the gates will be closed. For the sake of Neverwinter, smash those plague crystals. Ah, this ichor is just what I need to finish my elixir. I only hope this experiment proves successful. Joseph Linkletter is a fine man and a terror to the foul spawn, but his condition has grown very dire. Lately, Joseph has been volunteering for the most dangerous missions, leading soldiers who are close to their final transformation into battle. I fear he may be seeking to end his own life to spare Dorothea. There! The elixir is complete. Take it to Joseph as quickly as you can. He is currently undertaking a mission over at Apprentice Row.
I sure hope this Quarthon fella knows what he's doing. Every soldier in Scar Company suffers from the spell plague. Eventually, the plague changes a person into something no longer human. Something terrible. We all make a promise to our comrades. When the time comes and we cross the line, our brothers in arms will make an end of it for us. We have plague-changed men over in Apprentice Row who need to be put out of their misery. But our orders are to guard the wizard Quarthon. You can do us a favor by killing any plague-changed soldier you encounter in Apprentice Row. It may seem harsh, but it's really an act of mercy.